secret, all that you've been through to get here, man. So just give us an idea kind of what the emotion is like to finally get back in the win column.
Man, if we're being honest, I feel like I was never going to get back there. You know, I let a lot of outside stuff kind of push me back in my career a little bit, you know, with, you know, weight cuts and things like that. And then my last fight, you know, it not going my way, even though I thought it should have. You know, I was like, damn, what do we got to do to get in this win column? But we made sure we were tight on, you know, my whole camp. You know, over at Jackson Tacoma, we all made sure we were super on point for this camp with everything from, you know, training to the weight cuts. So, you know, it feels amazing to finally be back in there. It feels like it's been forever. Well, it's been a while, but it feels like worse.
Talk about how you battled through everything. I mean, we know what you had to deal with family and then professionally as well, man. I mean, there had to be points along the way where you're just like, this isn't worth it anymore.
Yeah, man. I mean, truth be told, you know, I don't hide any secrets. I don't lie. I didn't know if we were going to get to this point that we're at right now. I didn't know if there was going to be, you know, much more of a road to keep going on at this point, you know, but I'm a very strong person, you know, and I've been through a lot in my whole entire life, not just, you know, the last couple of years, and I couldn't let my son down. You know, everything he's been through, you know, all the fights that he's had to fight through, I couldn't let him down. So I made sure that I picked myself up and said, hey, you get the hell up, bro. Stop being a little, you know what. And I made sure that I'm going to have a long career in this sport, and, you know, I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I have a good mindset going forward.
How'd you feel about your performance tonight? All three judges gave the first round to him. So I mean, how'd you feel the fight was playing out? And
you know, that's one thing why I trust my coaches. You know, none of my coaches ever going to say, hey, good round. You know, we won that round. You're so fantastic. Yada yada yada. Let me hug you real quick. Kiss you on the cheek in between rounds. Nah, my coaches will tell me straight. And my coach told me, hey, we need this last round. We need this last round. And I had a feeling. You know, I kind of came out to an okay start in the first, and then kind of let him get the upper hand a little bit too much in the first. So I agree with them giving it to him in the first round, and I know a lot was on the line the last round. You know, a lot more than money, win. I knew my career was probably on the line at that point.
Incredible. What's going through your head at that point? If you feel like your career's on the line, I mean, are you thinking bad thoughts, good thoughts? What's happening?
It's you know, it's obviously if you could tell yourself while you're in there, hey man, if you don't win this last round, you might be, you know, in the can. But more than that, it was more of like, you know, I don't need this last round. You know, my coaches don't need this last round. My son needs this last round. You know, my son needs this win, you know, and wins in the future as well. So, you know, that's kind of what kept me going. You know, I was exhausted. I probably, you know, blew my load on that guillotine. It was there. It was there. I heard him squealing, but my arms were damn tired.
Last thing for me, I mean, I know you're going to want to enjoy this moment for sure, but now that you are back in the win column, where do you go from here? I mean, what's the plan moving forward? Are you trying to get busy quickly, make up for lost time? What's the idea?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, this I've never been one to like a 3-month gap, man. Like my whole career has been boom, 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 and then you know, fights started to kind of like space out as I got in the UFC, come together, space out, and I want to keep it consistent, you know, and that's going to be easier moving forward, just because I've really tightened up shit that I need to tighten up on the outside. You know, I'm not shy to say that, you know, I can eat like a little fatty sometimes. So, you know, that's kind of what made my cuts to 25 hard. But, you know, I'm a grown man now. Turned 26 in 2 weeks, so, you know, I got that stuff on lock now.
You said, you know, you've made some drastic life changes in order to, you know, be more focused and in there. Did that make this camp harder for you, or did it almost energize you going into this fight?
It made it easy, man. I mean, it made this camp easy. I mean, we started our cut that night. We're like, all right, let's do this cut. We were done in an hour, like straight up an hour, and an easy hour too, not like a dramatic, you know, locked in a sauna for an hour. We were there, done in an hour. So, you know, it helped. It helped. It was a lot less stress going into this fight and going into fight week.
You mentioned your career at 125. It seems like the UFC is building that back up again. They've signed some new people. Do you have any desire to go back down?
Hey, sign me up, man. Hell yeah, I want back in that division. You know, my move to bantamweight was based off of, you know, like I said, bad life habits. You know, not being an adult about my career. You know, I started to think of my career as an obligation rather than a privilege. And you know, if we're gonna be truth be told. My now striking coach Nick Urso kind of put me in check, because, you know, he not only did he like get on my ass about, hey, you know, let's make sure we get it done. he reminded me of all the people that probably deserve to be here as well that aren't, and the opportunity that I have, and I need to make the most of it.
And last thing for me, you said in between your last fight and this one that if you ever missed weight again or you pulled out of a fight for any other reason rather than serious injury, that you would quit the sport of MMA. Does that statement still hold true?
Yeah, that statement holds true, man. I mean, unless I get hit by a car or something crazy.
Don't say it.
No.
Don't say it, not enough. We've already gone through enough.
If we're honest, yeah, even if that does happen, from now on moving forward, it better really mess me up to make me miss a fight. That's one thing I would pride in myself on, is I never missed a fight. I never backed out of a fight, no matter what the circumstances. I've gone, I mean, hell, if we're sitting here, talking honesty, I've gone into like lower level pro fights with, criminal stuff going on. So, like a lot of like random ass shit going on. So, and it never stopped me. So, at this point forward, nothing's gonna stop me.
So what was the emotions like throughout fight week? You're going, like, you're here at the hotel, you got your family, weight cut's going good. Was there any point in the week you were like, something could happen, because considering all the things over the past year that kept you out of the cage?
No, not really. I mean, make sure I'm aware of all objects around me when I'm jumping into a tub, or my buddies like to make jokes. They say, "Hey, don't get into any bus unless like Oprah's throwing a dolly through it or something." So, but no, I'm that kind of shit don't play through my mind anymore.
And what did it feel like when you finally stepped into the octagon and like, finally I'm here again, everything's been solid, now all I gotta do is take care of business?
What I had to keep reminding myself is this guy I fought was a newcomer. The guy that I last fought was like my third opponent for that camp, and he was also a newcomer. So it almost brought me down like if I was a newcomer. But same thing I told myself last fight as I told myself this fight. This is my 10th UFC fight. It's my 5th year in the UFC. I'm the veteran in the sport, and I'm the big dog right now. And it's reminding myself that, hey, I've been here plenty of times before, many times before. So ain't nothing different this time. I've been to the big show. I fought Demetrius Johnson. In my opinion, the greatest in the world. So, I've been in a lot more stressful spots in my career.
One more. You mentioned this was a special fight because you had a close member have somebody die of cancer. Some of us can relate to that. How did that motivate for your fight tonight?
After my son was diagnosed with his condition, we just got really in touch with how much kids are a blessing, and not only that, we got in touch with a lot of people who, man, there's a lot of people going through stuff like this, and honestly, my son's been through a lot. My son has been through a lot, but we walk through those hospital doors and we walk through those NICUs, and there's kids going through a lot worse than what he's going through. So we keep in touch with everybody, and we always try to have people's back in that community. And a good friend of ours, he's a local referee. His name's Joel Trejo. I can't really pronounce his last name, but his daughter's the cutest thing that ever lived, and man, she fought the hardest battle with terminal cancer, and man, like, she was supposed to pass so much sooner than what she did, but she fought till the very end. So, yesterday was her birthday, and she's been gone for years. So it really motivates me to get that win for people in those spots. It means a lot to them.
Who would you like to fight next? If anybody, a name comes to your mind?
No, I mean, I know the UFC is like, oh, pick your opponent, pick your opponent. I don't care. I really don't. I'm not in that position to pick opponents right now. The position I'm in is to continue to show up, continue to win, and to continue to put on good performances. So whatever they throw at me, I've never said no before, and I really don't care. So, no names at this point.
Right, how's your son?
He's doing fantastic. He was just back here with me, but he's tired, man. It's a lot for him. So he's back with his mom right now. He's doing fantastic.
Cool.
We saw you go get them like right after you won. How sweet was that to go see them right after you win?
That's something. Honestly, a friend of mine, Cowboy Cerrone, every fight he wins, he pulls his boy in there with him, and it touches me because his boy's cute. His boy, it's family. It's family, and every time I see him do that, I tell myself, I want that. I want to be able to pull my son in there and experience what I'm experiencing, and so it was a very big moment for me.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.